Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me this morning. I see we've got a good crowd on here already. That's fantastic. As it should be, because we are going to have a very special guest today, Mr. Shaun Clark. CEO of HighLevel. And this is always a good call, always one of my favorites. This is the fourth time that we have had a State of the Union call like this with Shaun, and they are always good. They're always full of insights, and I'm looking forward to picking his brain once again. So I'm going to go ahead just real quick and send him the invite link. I also just posted it in the group there, Shaun, if you see that. Oh, Shaun is back in the no problem, Shaun. We'll get you squared away here. I just sent you the link in your Facebook Messenger. You should see it there. You should be able to join that. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. There he is. Awesome. All right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and bring Shaun on here. We're going to be efficient today because he has got, I know, as always, a lot going on. And Shaun, I actually, before I bring you on here, I'm just going to pull up. I actually prepared some questions to make sure that I am being efficient here. So, and then everybody, we're going to do our best. Hey, Shaun.
Uh-oh.
Tie Shaun up for any longer than 45 minutes. I haven't even asked him if we can do that.
There you are. You're back.
What's that?
You blanked out for some reason for me.
Oh, all right. Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're perfect now.
Okay, cool. So I have some questions for him. And then, gang, if you guys have questions, which I'm sure you do, please go ahead and type them into the comments, and we will do our best to get to as many as we possibly can. Shaun, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm in Dubai, so it's 10 o'clock at night for me. We're at our first ever international event, so it's very exciting.
Yeah, Dubai. Thank you for making this work, even though you're in Dubai. That's amazing. Tell me, so what are you doing there? This is a HighLevel event, right?
Yeah, so this is our first SaaSpreneur event here. And it's really just the first time we've ever taken what we normally do in Dallas and brought it international. So it's SaaSpreneur, so it's a lot of fun. And then we'll also go to Affiliate World, which is also happening this week. So we kind of try to bookend them together to make the most of the time.
That's awesome. Is Affiliate World in Dubai as well?
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Wow. Everything's happening in Dubai.
I know. It's a cool place to be. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, the Vegas of the Middle East or something. I'm not sure, but
yeah, that's awesome. Cool. All right. Welcome everybody. Alan, I'm just going to go through some names real quick. Alan, AT, David, Frederick, Tie-Dye Digital, Michael, who else we got here? Charles and Linda, good to see you. Jennifer J, always great to see you. Kevin White, Chris, thank you everybody for joining us. Kathleen, got a lot of people on here. Shaun, eager to hear from you, of course.
Awesome.
I'm going to jump into some questions. You, of course, take it wherever you want to as well here. My first question was actually about Dubai, so we covered that one. Okay, I saw recently you guys just hit an incredible milestone, $100 million in affiliate payouts, which is insane. I don't think I've ever seen an affiliate program. I've only seen maybe a couple get to that size, period, but I've never seen one get to that place so fast. That's incredible.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
Yeah, that's got to feel good. That's got to feel really good.
It does.
Are there some other key numbers that you can share publicly about how many businesses are using HighLevel at this point? Like anything like that you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. These numbers move around a lot. But I know it's like 90,000 customers, over 3 million users now. What I will say is, just from a size perspective, we're now bigger in customer count and user count than HubSpot, as an example. Not quite bigger than Salesforce yet, but we'll get there. So we're definitely on the larger side these days.
It's crazy. You're bigger than HubSpot at this point? Yeah, that blows my mind.
Yeah, total customers and total users for sure.
I mean, HubSpot is almost 20 years in business or somewhere around there.
Yeah, they've been around for a lot longer than us. That's for sure.
That blows my mind.
I know, pretty cool.
It is really cool. And it's interesting going back to the affiliate thing, because I think that in my mind, there's a handful of very key drivers. One, your focus on your model, which is how do we make agencies successful and how do we create a platform that gives agencies the economics to be successful. And then the fact that you have used affiliates instead of building all of that in-house in terms of the sales and marketing team. I think those things are, and then obviously it has to be said that the core value proposition of the software has to be there, or none of this works. So that's incredible. Congratulations to you and the team. As always, you guys are kicking butt, which is just so much fun to watch. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Something that I know the listeners here are going to really care about. What are the most successful agencies doing right now that you see that others are missing?
Well, as always, that really depends on their size, but I often get this question near the beginning of the journey. And so a couple of things. One is doing the services that scale is the most important thing. So really focusing in on a core set of features that are driving good ROI value to the customer, that aren't also super expensive and custom, right? So really things like, and of late, I would say my favorite is definitely inbound voice AI. It's incredibly successful for almost any type of business, because just like missed call text back was, or still is, it is a situation where people call and they don't pick up. And now the cool thing about inbound voice AI is you're not taking them off the current channel, and you don't have to deal with A2P registration for SMS. So it's a lot faster implementation. And we're seeing just astounding results. We just recently released, oh gosh, I forget how many more languages, a bunch of more languages and accents and stuff. So it's really, really cool stuff. So for me, it's still about, hey, I'm going to start with 1 to 3 really basic features, focus on making those ROI positive, getting really good at selling them. And then from there, who do I sell it to and how do I sell it? I mean, if you're just beginning, I always say the same thing. I'd start local. I would focus on really getting out in your community, creating those connections, utilizing the natural connectivity of your locality to create a lot more trust and get your stuff going. So for me, that is always where, and this event is actually really interesting, because what I didn't know what I would find here, but what I'm finding is just a bunch of the same people, just who happen to be from other places. So, I met a couple of guys from Singapore yesterday. They have over 700 clients, but you know what? They sell services that scale to businesses in Singapore. And so, it's just a lot easier for them to come here than it is to go all the way to Dallas. And lots and lots and lots of people like that. So it continues to just show me that model is the right model over and over and over again, no matter where it is that you live. I'm the guy from Bulgaria today who's selling this to children's, what are they like? Counseling. So he's a child counselor himself, and he is teaching other people in Bulgaria how to do it, and he's using HighLevel. And so it's just really cool. It's the same model continuously, and it continues to have success. So it may change over time. Like inbound voice AI, I think is a brand new piece of the puzzle here, and I think it is a very cool one. But that same singular focus on start simple, start scalable, don't overcomplicate things, still the best way to win.
Yeah, I love it. And thank you for working in the services that scale brand name multiple times there. I always appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I stole it. I basically stole it from you. So I feel like I have to give it credit, give you credit. Every time anybody asks me how to do it, I always say, well, Mike, you have to talk to Mike. He's got this thing where he's like, it's like very easy to understand. It's like complex services over here, tools over here. You got to find something in the middle, so.
That's awesome. I love it. Thank you.
It's the best explanation I've ever gotten. So I use it all the time.
I'll take it. I appreciate it. Tim Fandler, good to see you, buddy. Loving both the voice AI and conversational AI. Yeah, I think for anybody who has not really played around with that inbound voice AI yet, it is something to just dive into and mess around with. It is, even as of, I would say 45 days ago, when my team and I were goofing around with a bunch of stuff, it is much more powerful than I anticipated. The AI of it, and your ability to just throw it a question that you're like, hey, we haven't trained this thing at all on this. Let me just ask this question and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And it handles it pretty darn well.
Yeah, and yeah, it's awesome. And what's great about all of this is, everybody is running around working on this in technology now, so it's just getting better at such a fast pace. And because we're just beneficiaries, all of us, of this, and same thing with HighLevel. So as these models improve and as these as these things get better, we'll just automatically have them start to fall into the system as well. So it'll just get better and better over time. And then we've also got, on the training side, I saw somebody throw out a question. So couple of things there. So we have like a ongoing Q&A now where you can get on, and people, we have a team that'll actually help you do training and stuff. But even out of the box, it's actually pretty good. And they're really seeing it as like a wizard kind of setup. So it's very simple to get going. In fact, we're going to double back and do the same thing for the conversational AI bots, because what we realize is now that the simple use cases are some of the most powerful, and we want to make it a lot easier for people to get set up and going.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, as always, anything with simplicity is more simplicity is good.
I agree, 100%.
So it's got to be. I mean, in addition to the huge benefit that you're seeing financially already to so many people, which is incredible, I've got to think that global impact is something that's super exciting, and it speaks to, I think, just the incredible amount of growth that's still ahead for HighLevel.
100%. I mean, it's a big world, and what's cool about it is it's really about doing the same things for others in the world that we've done in the US, just making sure we've got all the payment stuff in place, the language stuff in place. These are the two big barriers, and we've recently come out with some brand new translations that are extremely good, and we're just putting them into the last final parts of the app that aren't translated. So that'll be done all this quarter. So that'll be finished. And then the nice thing is subsequent languages are incredibly easy to add. So it won't be a challenge. Like Bulgarian will not actually be that hard to do. Right to left languages. Is that right? Right to left. Yeah. That will be a little harder, but we will crack that nut as well. But yeah. And then on the payment side, we're going to continue to integrate larger payment vendors that support other geos outside the US. But we also have the open payments gateway. So anybody who doesn't want to wait around for us can easily get a payments gateway integrated today, and it'll show up just like Stripe does or any other payment gateway that we've done. It'll be like a first-class implementation and work across all the products.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay. You mentioned this for people that are just getting started. You talked about, so there's always a lot of people that are just getting started. Which speaks to the growth and everything, which is incredible. You mentioned, so picking a couple of, core features and really focusing on understanding them, understanding how to implement them, what the core value proposition is. You mentioned selling locally initially, taking advantage of those local contacts. Any other just getting started tips that you would recommend to somebody to get that first sale or two and kind of get that momentum?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that I think I've always been surprised by, and I guess maybe I shouldn't be surprised by it anymore, but almost all of us know a business owner. And they tend to be a friend or a family member or somebody, or we just have a close relationship with some business in town. It's honestly, in my opinion, if I was absolutely just getting started, and I've done this in the past as well, I would just try to do it for them for free, just to prove to them that it works. You also then get somebody who can recommend you to your next client. You can do it for a limited time for free, all kinds of those sorts of things. But I think trying to utilize as much of your personal network as you can. I think when we talk about these things, they feel very like, oh, well, I should run ads and this should all run on the internet and it should be like this big global thing. But I think that's the entirely wrong place to start. I think starting locally has so many advantages. And if you can just I think the number one challenge I see with people is they try to make it too big too fast. They don't get any kind of, they have a hard time getting traction because they've made it way too big. And that's what causes the most difficulty for them. It's not the software, it's not the setup, it's not the features, it's none of that. It's just starting small, selling small, getting those easy first wins, and realizing you can scale those up from there quite easily. But if you don't get those easy first wins, that's what you're going to get lost.
Yeah, I love it. Bob, congrats. That's awesome. Yes. So you actually just summed up my next YouTube video that's coming out, which is essentially everything that you just said there. And I want to reiterate a couple of things that you said. One, don't expect everything to be so easy and automated, in your first 90 days in particular. Like, you are learning a whole new system. You're learning how to use it yourself. You're learning how to execute it for other people. Of course, there's going to be a learning curve. Of course, your sales and marketing is going to take a while to get dialed in because you don't have your message just right yet. And you don't even know exactly who you're targeting just yet. So that's one thing. Don't expect it to be just so damn easy. You're starting a business is a challenging thing.
That's right. That's good advice.
Yeah. And then number two, and this kills me because I 100% agree with you. It kills me to see this over and over again. Do stuff for free to start. Find that business owner that you know, or find a business owner that could use a helping hand, and just put in that grunt work to start, because you're either going to be sitting around just kind of learning in a vacuum, not really dealing with any customers at all, or you're going to take that same time and actually do something for somebody else, which it creates a different dynamic. You learn more because you're hearing their questions, you're seeing their frustrations, things like that. And you're getting that confidence of, oh, okay, I got somebody up and running on this. Now I know I can do it. I can do it again. So free does not have to be forever. And in fact, doing something for free for that initial account doesn't have to be forever. Say, I'm going to do this stuff for free for you for the first 90 days.
Yeah.
As long as you understand that here's what it costs after that. It's a reasonable price. But I'm going to do this stuff for free for the first 90 days just to make sure you get all set up and everything's dialed in and working well. And, I would love a testimonial in exchange if things go well. That gets you that real momentum because you're actually out dealing with customers. So
100%. I think
awesome. That's what are the features that you mentioned? Inbound AI, of course, already. What are the other features that you're most excited about or you're seeing having the most impact?
Well, okay, so I think this is all psychology. So going back to, every business owner gets pitched this sort of thing of like, if you spend money on X, you will get Y. I will help you get Y. And the problem with that is it's like, if you give before, if you give me something, I will help you. But I think the problem with that is business owners gone down that before. And it often is like, if you buy this ad or you run these Google ads or Facebook ads or this or that. So there's a lot of jadedness there. And I think reasonably so. So the things I like are the things that target existing leads and traffic that they already have that they're missing. And so this is why I like inbound voice AI, because, and this is actually really important. So the way to set this up is you're not replacing their current phone number. You're doing what I refer to as busy no answer call forwarding, which means that I'm calling the main number. And basically every phone system does this. You can basically go, you buy a phone number in HighLevel, you hook it all up to voice AI, and then on their phone, you have them dial like *76 or whatever it is. We have a help doc on this. And then you put in the HighLevel number you just bought. And what it does is when someone calls that main number 24/7, 365, it rings that business like normal. And if the business owner doesn't pick up, it rolls the call, but not before. So you're not getting in the way of their existing number. You're not replacing anything. They don't have to log into HighLevel. It's reducing the friction of that. And you're also then be able to say, oh, no, you get first shot at the call. It's just if you don't answer it, then the voice AI picks up. So what are you doing there? You're targeting leads they're missing. You're targeting inbound. So first of all, inbound customers, always the most valuable. People who pick up a phone still and call, uber, super, mega valuable. And now you're helping them catch the people they're missing. That's huge, right? So they're not spending money on ads or more money on ads than they're already spending. And you're helping them mop up those missed customers. And that right there, big value, right? So that's on the voice side. Now what are the other places they're missing people? On their website. So we've got the conversational AI chat on the website because people are going to the website and they're seeing about us and contact forms and they don't know what to do. They see that chat and they go right for it. And again, same experience. You're keeping them right in the same channel they started in. Now they're getting the information they need and you're taking them hopefully down that next step in the funnel. So again, but you're capturing traffic they already had that they were simply missing or not converting adequately. So in that case, what are you getting? You get to the end of the month and you're saying, listen, I'm just giving you free customers essentially out of thin air. And what's really happening is you're going down one level in their funnel and you're creating a capture, nurture kind of closed flow that they were utterly missing before and creating a lot of value instantaneously with just those two steps. So for me, that is exactly where I would try to start because I think I could show most business owners in a couple of days that they're missing a truckload of phone calls and a lot of website traffic.
Absolutely. I love that. I think putting the core systems in place, you guys have all seen some sort of image of the leaky bucket thing, right? And businesses have all these opportunities, but they have leaky buckets because they don't have the proper systems in place. They can't afford to have enough people in place, things like that. And so they have all these opportunities that are just flowing out of that leaky bucket. And with HighLevel and these core features that Shaun's talking about, you can plug the holes in that bucket so that they start experiencing more wins. And as they experience more wins, then they have the systems in place that it makes sense to start investing in advertising if they want to. It doesn't make a lot of sense to spend a lot of money on advertising when you have a leaky bucket that all those opportunities are just falling right through. So
and that's you're absolutely right. And that's what you have. And that's the ironic part about it. You have to do that anyways. And so what are you doing there? You're sort of going in and you're showing them that they can trust you and you can create value there. And you're also putting in place what you have to put in place anyways to run ads. So then when you go and you do eventually run ads, now you have this incredibly scalable funnel that you would have had to build anyways. But you can do it in the meantime to just validate and show that you know what you're doing. So yeah, it's just a no duh.
I love it. What are HighLevel's top priorities for the rest of 2025? I know you guys have so many things that you're doing.
Okay. So one thing I dropped, and I'll have Mike drop this, but we have, for everybody, just so you know, we have live product town halls by product team, which means that we have any team in the company will gets on monthly calls and we'll show you their current roadmap, their future roadmap, and they'll ask you for feedback. And they very much take that feedback and use it to create the next steps in the roadmap. So for anybody who has a very specific question about that, I will try to answer it, but the product managers themselves will do a much better job. Holistically, the first part of this year is all about taking the existing functionality and going deeper with it, and also making it simpler to use. So a lot of our functionality in our system exists, but is tied together in some weird or loose way. Like you want to add a domain to a funnel, you have to get out of the funnel and you have to go to the settings and you got to do this and this and this. So it's erasing clicks, and it's super exciting to say that. But net as a daily user, once you get into HighLevel, using it every day, these are the thrilling things for people.
Yeah, exactly.
They just cut through their workload. So really, for us, it's about enhancing the AI, enhancing all the existing products, making them a lot simpler. For me, that is like the big goal for the first half of the year. Back half of the year, we're going to probably start into project management, really take on the ClickUps and the Mondays.com, because we've got a lot of customers who use those products. So it's like a natural way for us to flow, I think. But there are going to be just bona fide new features in these first 2 quarters. Like somebody was asking about Search Atlas. It's going live this quarter. So now you're going to have full mega
SEO,
SEMrush SEO stuff for those people that just love that and that's what they need. We're going to be coming out with the ability to add SIP endpoints, which sounds really nerdy, and it is, but basically what it should translate into is I'm sorry. Here I am. Oh, good. It should translate into hard phones, so you'll be able to actually go in and actually start putting hard phones on the desks of the businesses that you serve. So and for me, I love it because again, it's one of those things. Every business has a phone. Now you can be that phone provider. It's additional revenue for you. It's another way to do that. The POS system continues to get better. So on the mobile app, we have a bona fide point of sale system. So the team continues to expand on that. It now works on the iPad. It works with external hardware. So you're starting to get into Square territory. So there's, so it all depends on who I'm talking to, but there's a lot of exciting stuff all over the place. And a lot of it is just about taking existing functionality and either bringing it out in a way that we didn't have it before, or taking what we had and just making it a lot easier to use. So those are really our 2 big focal points.
That's fantastic. I think that's everybody loves to hear that. And I think one of the things that this stresses, again, just in hearing you talk about some of these features, because guys, I use HighLevel all day, every day, and have now for the last several years. And every single time I watch all of your release videos and all that stuff, I'm blown away by all the things that I don't know, like the details of things that I'm just like, wow, I've never touched that feature yet. And that speaks to, I think, what you were just saying earlier about you guys got to focus on the handful of things that are the core value proposition for the audience that you're going after, and get momentum with those. It's impossible to sit down and just learn everything about HighLevel start to finish in any reasonably brief period of time. You don't need to. So focus on those core value propositions.
That is very important. In fact, I mean, I used to not, let me think about this. I probably used to not cop to this, but I would totally do it today. Half the features we add in there are just to get people's attention. They're just like flashy objects.
Yeah.
And it's not my fault though. It's your fault. Not you, Mike, specifically, but people's fault, because the problem, the example I would always, the example I always like to give is like, I feel like I'm a carnival barker outside of a carnival tent. And I'm trying to say like, come inside the tent. We have fire breathing dragons. You've never seen it before. And everyone's like, they look at me, they're like, that's cool, but do you have tigers? And I'm like, no, who cares? Like, these are dragons, man. You've never seen this, right? That's like stuff of movies, but no, they're like, sorry, if you don't have tigers, I'm not.
You run back to the development team. You're like, guys, give me a freaking tiger.
Well, I guess we'll add tigers. And then, and it's funny because of course we add the tigers and then the people come in and they're like, oh my God, you have dragons in here that breathe fire. It's amazing. Right. And I'm like, I told you so, but the problem is that that's just not how humans work. So yes. The reason I tell it like that is because, do not feel bad if you don't use half or 90% of what we do. There's a guy on YouTube who, last I saw, he was doing his video from a tree, which was really interesting. But he just does reputation management with HighLevel and he's crushing it. So don't feel bad if you use one feature. That's okay. I think the positive here is that just understand that when and if you ever get there, we will have that for you. So, and there's lots of stuff we're working on, like a bunch of stuff in coupons and things and point stuff for like restaurants and things. So there's a ton of and then and then we'll have like some interesting integrations that I think will be helpful. Like we have an integration coming out with Jobber. But we continue to also like custom objects is really opening up a lot of stuff because you can go deep on a lot of this. Like the custom objects will soon be able to be become like routable jobs. So like if you work with service people, so like if you're really into that, that's awesome. If you don't work with any service people, you don't get what the heck that's even what I'm talking about. So there's like a lot of cool things we're going to be able to do in the near future as we push out. But a lot of it is about taking those core elements and just making them easier to use or giving you different versions of them, things like that fit better use cases that are more niche specific and customer specific.
Yeah, that's killer. I mean, yeah, you have so many different types of small businesses that you're serving that there's always going to be a percentage of features that are not appropriate for whatever business you're currently working on. And It doesn't have to be that way. The other thing that I think is important in your service delivery to think about this, gang, is that you don't have to roll out everything at once, right? You can focus on, hey, there's these core features that we're rolling out as the core system value proposition for this customer. But the incredible thing is that you always have something else that you can roll out to your customers as an improvement roadmap, right? Because HighLevel has an endless number of things. So just like we get seduced by HighLevel's new features and we're so excited to see them, you want to use that same psychology with your customers. You want them to feel like every month they're paying you recurring revenue and the system's getting better and better and better. So you can look at that huge portfolio of features and say, okay, this quarter, what's the next one or the next two or whatever that we're going to roll out to our customer base and make an exciting announcement about it and use the exact same psychology to make sure that you are keeping your customers intrigued and realize it would be stupid to cancel with you because they're getting increasing value every month. And that's the beauty of what HighLevel is doing for all of us. There's a lot of incredible things, but I think the most incredible thing is the pace at which they're improving the platform. It is ridiculous. Once you're on there, it is ridiculous to consider canceling because you're never going to be able to get that much value and that much increasing value every dang month. That's the power of what they're doing. And so you need to leverage that and use that in your communication to your customers as well. It's incredible.
There's one feature that is live right now on the $97 plan, which is it's actually a very boring feature that everyone else has had forever and we never have, which is one of those onboarding like wizard things. And we built it. It took us a while because we built it in a way where we could swap stuff out and we could measure all the different changes. But we're already seeing a tremendous difference in adoption at the point of a brand new user, which of course is the most important place to do this. Right. And so in a minute, we are going to roll this out to $297, $497. But of course, we know people are going to want to customize the heck out of it. So that's the change that we'll make. But I will say, I think that stuff like that is actually going to end up moving the numbers a lot more than almost anything else, because it's really, if you look at our product today, if you look at our funnel, like where are we going to most likely lose you? It's going to be right at the beginning, because you're going to get confused, or you're not going to know what to do or where to go or whatever.
Overwhelmed. Yeah,
exactly. Right. So, and then what that will open the door to is eventually going deeper from a niche perspective. So designing default versions of that around plumbers and lawyers and doctors and dentists to give a more streamlined and specific onboarding around that niche, and only showing them the features that apply to them initially as like a default mode. And then you can, of course, flip on the advanced switch and do whatever you want. But by default, it'll make onboarding for all of us a lot easier.
Yes, I love the sounds of that. I think everybody that understands that loves the sound of it. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, gang. I'm going to open this up to some more questions over here. Shaun, if you've seen anything in the comments.
There's a ton of questions. So, but one thing is, if you go to gohighlevel.com/product-events, that is huge, because for all the questions I miss or I don't answer well, the product management team will crush it. So if you have any specific questions around a specific area, I really encourage you to show up to those. And they want you to. They really want your feedback. I mean, they're not just there to tell you what they want to do. They're there to listen to you and hear what you think about the roadmaps.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The team is amazing. Speaking of the team, how big is our team these days?
Gosh, I think there's the there's the current existing team, which I think is like 1,500 strong, and but then there's like the hiring plan. So I think the hiring plans put us at 1,800 or something. But so it's a continual. I mean, I've sort of stopped counting at this point.
Yeah,
but we're gonna have to we do this yearly yearly team events. We used to split them by east versus west side of the world, but now we're gonna have to like split again. So it's like East 1, East 2, West 1, West 2, because it's just too big. We can't find places to house 1,000 people at one time. So, but it's great, because those people are amazing, and whether they're customer support or their development or their product management, I mean, they do fantastic stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah, those are first class problems to have to figure out. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love this. Charles and Linda say customer service investments are kicking ass. Greatly appreciated. I love that.
Yep.
That's incredible. Let's see. I'm looking for the questions that are not so deeply technical, just because I want those real specific questions like that to go through some proper channels at high level, rather than us.
Yeah, I mean, I can throw some stuff out here. Like somebody asked, is ShipStation in the works? And and it goes out this quarter. I know that, just happened to randomly know that. So yes, it goes out this quarter for anybody who wants to know.
How's the investment in community going? And I'm surprised to see this on par with school, because I'm using the community now. We migrated all of our community over, canceled our circle membership, and I think it's been fantastic. So curious.
Yeah, I mean, we have a huge team on communities and I would say, it's funny because I don't know, this is the problem. I don't know like any one person's feature set, enough to know, but I can also say like, I'm pretty darn sure we're at par, give or take now. I'm sure there's one or two things we're missing, but those have to be slated for this quarter. And then we already, in my opinion, do way better, because we've got the white label app that nobody else has, or certainly school doesn't have it. And we also launched Go Collab, so that if you like really just love communities and you want them to be, you can go sign up for free and have communities and stuff. So yeah, I would say that we are on par, if not in some cases better than. But yeah, if there's one or two features, just go ask that product team. They'll tell you exactly when they come out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I was going to say. I think the core value proposition of communities and usability of communities is incredible. And just like we've been discussing, there's always the nth feature, the tigers and fire breathing dragons that are going to pull in certain people. But
so there's all kinds of questions like, are you going to be able to resell Jobber? I think so. I think there's some kind of deal there. Somebody asked, how about a Xero integration? That is like, we're in the very end stages of Xero integration. The code's all written. But there's some weird flow where like, if you don't have a Xero account, you have to like, if you click the integration button, they want us to like kick you to one page or something. So they're fixing that, and then we'll go live with Xero. That'll happen this quarter. Somebody asked in communities. Sorry, ETA for calendar booking via voice AI. I talked to all the players for that, and it is also going out this quarter, so that's good.
Wow.
Yeah, so let's see. I got a bunch of that. But yeah, there's all kinds of questions. We still have somebody asked like Clio integration. We still have a Clio integration. So on and on it goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of way, Jared. Look at that. That's commitment.
I know,
That's amazing.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
And we'll plan to see you in Texas in October. Yes,
Yep,
this year's summit, Shaun. Talk a little bit about that, because this.
Yeah, so I mean, we just did our first SaaSpreneur event at the new location, and I have to say, I was really worried just because it's a lot bigger location, but it's actually quite nice. I liked the rooms better. I liked the and it just in general, I was really impressed. And it's going to give us the space we need. And I saw the area that we're going to put the event in this year. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to, we really do sell out every year, and people would message me and say, I had no idea you guys weren't joking. I thought you were just marketers and you had some extra seats. And we're like, no, we didn't. So it's going to be huge, up to a point. I think it's 2,000 people this year, and I think that's where we'll stop. But I think the new venue, I think everyone will really like it. I was really impressed.
Awesome. I love it. Somebody asked me, any plans to integrate 11 Labs?
This is this is like a really interesting question, right? Because 11 Labs powers, well, I don't know much about 11 Labs. I think that's the one where like you can make your videos like be in a different language and stuff. But I know that 11 Labs actually powers the inbound voice AI languages today. So as always, that one's funny because I don't know the exact reason for it. Like what? So this is where, I mean, I'm happy to talk to you about it, but you can talk to the product team too. But like, what are you looking to do there exactly? Like, what's your end result? Like, oh, we're integrated now. What?
Right. And that's an interesting point. I'm curious. I mean, obviously AI is just such a big topic and is so important and increasing in importance kind of across our lives and our businesses. Is there an approach to how you are integrating AI? Because there's all these different LLMs.
So this is the thing, right? And I think we would all say, oh, wow, we've all seen amazing AI stuff. The problem is a lot of that AI stuff is amazing until we realize like it's amazing as like a cool thing to look at, but none of us can sell it. So what we do is we just wait till you guys show us what you could sell. And then that's what we add into the platform, right? Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to just add something. I mean, it's kind of like if you look at AI where it started, it was a lot of content stuff. And I feel like some of that has petered out. Or if you do use it, you kind of like, I'll just use ChatGPT real quick. It's like, there's not like a firm enough grasp there. We still get a lot of usage, mostly because the original models that we saw were all around subscription services. And really people don't use it that way. They use it for projects. So, but I still think that whole idea of content creation is still very project-based. It's like, oh, I'm doing a website. I need to create an image. That's it. I want to pay for, if I'm going to pay AI, I'm going to pay AI for that image or for that content or for that funnel even, right? We have a funnel builder now that's AI-based. And so we're looking for the examples of things that can create end products that have a sales motion behind them. Because if you can create cool stuff that you can't sell, that's a hobby, not a business.
Right. Yes. Tim's doing all kinds of smart stuff as always. I love it.
And this is great. Tim's a good example of the people we like look at. We wait for somebody to show that, hey, look, this is like a thing and you can make it happen consistently and people will pay you for it. Then we'll put it in and make it easy and turnkey it.
So one thing, just real quick, one of the values of 11 Labs is that you can train it on your voice or on anybody's voice. So you could, if you wanted your phone system to sound just like the owner of the business, you could train it. So, and I think just the issue of like, there's just so many, AI platforms. It'll just be interesting to see how.
I want to see if that's like a thing, because then the other problem, like with the nice thing, like, so the way we've designed it was around a use case I really understood well, which is sort of like a receptionist use case. I think somebody asked earlier, like, what happens if the bot gets confused? The goal is actually for the bot to not try to do things that it shouldn't try to do. Right. So ultimately our goal is to like give you a price and book an appointment and, basic stuff. Right. Yeah. But let's say you actually got it to sound like the business owner. First of all, 99% of people don't care and they don't know. And maybe that,
and they hate their voice.
Right. But then the 1%, let's say they call in and they think they got the business owner, and then they find out they don't, they'd be pissed off and they'd hate that experience. So if anything, you almost want it to be the receptionist, so that way the business owner later on can be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that receptionist, they just did such a terrible job. But let me help you." It's like you can save the day but if they thought it was you and you screwed it up, well then, gosh, that's terrible. So these are the types of interesting things. Well, when you see the demo, we all know why it's cool, but then are you really going to do that in real life? So until you guys do it consistently, we won't add it in. But once you do, trust me, we'll be all about it.
I love it. Yeah, you have to have a filter. Otherwise, you just be chasing.
Ooh, that's a very good question, David.
What do we think about that, Shaun?
See it, right? Yeah. So yeah, he was asking about live events. So we love live events, and maybe ours are different. And maybe we're idiots, but I really like them. So we don't make any money off of our events. In fact, most of the time we lose money on our events. We throw them because the way we think about them is they are ways to bring the community together. So like at the event I'm at right now, it's about bringing people from our community to speak. I'm proud to say many of which have never, like one guy spoke today. He's never spoken before. He did a great job. For us, it's about sharing experiences and bringing people together. There's no sale at the back of the room. There's no table rush. I have no inner circles to sell you. You'd be bored anyways. I mean, you'd be like, what the heck did I buy? This is ridiculous. So that's not who we are. And I think a lot of the older style events, as far as I understand them, I'm not an OG as much as Mike is, but they were very much, they were pitching something. And so for us, because we've designed them at the outset to never be a pitch fest, I think they're very sustainable. So the way we do it is, it's just about how do we get this message out to more people? How do we bring people in different regions together who might not otherwise have met? And for us, that's the intention. So we plan to do more. In fact, on the international front, we've already committed to London and Australia. And then we have these really fun events that are just, I got to show you this. So these two women came up to me and they said, "Oh, we have a gift for you. We're going to give it to you tomorrow." Turns out they had run an event in the Philippines the day or two before they came here, and they had 500 people come to that event. And it was all high level. So of course they gave me this like little guy here who looks like me a little bit. Awesome. And he got one. And so we have these really awesome kind of like co-events that are starting. So we're starting to try to support those. So anyhow, all that to say, live events are very cool, and we'll continue to do more of them.
That's awesome. And I think, I'm gonna drive us to a wrap up here. I think one of the most important things that everybody can take away from how to market their own services, how to market their own business, and their philosophy and approach to serving their customers is just to mimic what HighLevel has been doing and continues to do, which is, look at what they've done from the very beginning. From the very beginning, they've put out low price points so that it's accessible to everybody. They've over communicated. Shaun has been putting out videos every damn day for years now. They have bent over backwards to let us try new features without increasing the price on us. So they're continuing to add value to things. They are doing everything that they can to build community, nurture community, actually support, people. They are not doing the 70-step upsells to the ultra premium mastermind that they could be doing. They're leaving all of that on the table because I know to Shaun, because I've had plenty of conversations with Shaun and the other founders, that would feel gross to them. And they would be like, why in the world, as you said earlier, why in the world would people want to pay a bunch of money to hang out with us when all we do is work our face off and create videos to send them to our users and work on our features and then hang out with our families when we have time? We're like, why in the world is anybody going to want to pay $100,000 to be in a mastermind to be a part of that?
No.
And that's exactly one of the things that I am so happy about, and I'm proud of you guys for, Shaun, is that you have shown that there is a right way to grow a business by actually really investing in your customers and taking care of your customers, because it's not gross. It's not about the 17 upsells that I'm going to get in the funnel. It's, oh my gosh, you guys keep on adding value. And if we all take those same best practices and take those to the market to our small business customers, it will work. It's the same thing. Focus on adding value. Get things into the hands of your customers for free if you have to for a while, because HighLevel's not charging you an arm and a leg for them anyway. Pass that value onto those small businesses and let them experience it and help them solve real problems. And your business will grow and it will be recurring revenues so that you don't feel like you have to do the gross thing at the end of every month to pay the bills, because you've got a really good, solid foundation. And I love that. I love HighLevel, love what the company is doing, love the impact that it's had, and am super appreciative. Thank you for joining us on another one of these calls. Anything that you'd like to add in closing?
No, I just want to make sure everyone heard me. Go highlevel.com/product-events, just because all of you here are an exceptional tribe. And but I know I've known Mike now for years, and he brings together just the best of people in all manner of ways. And I think all of your expertise and your feedback, that is how we grow the company, and that's how we know what you want us to do, and we want to hear from you. So please go there. It's just a simple calendar, but it'll tell you, if you want to know about opportunities and or you want to know AI or whatever, we break it all up, and you can make your voices heard, and you can also just see what we're working on, and hopefully you'll see some awesome, amazing stuff you're excited about.
Awesome. Shaun, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for having me.
Yes, time for you to go get some sleep.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to bed, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Dubai. Everybody, thank you so much, as always, for being a part of the community. Thank you for taking time out of your Monday. I know this is very short notice to be here, but I know it was also valuable. And we got to take these opportunities to get Shaun on a call whenever we can. So thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for being customers. Go HighLevel, go agency community, get out there and help as many small businesses as you can. The economy needs it. They need it. And we will see you on a future call. Thanks, Shaun.
Bye, everybody.